attorney trying to get him down there so Adam don't be doing no telling, bro.
Man, they say Adam locked up. All on the blogs. What's going on?
They came to get him this morning, bro. They doubled back. They came by and we trying to have him out because he's supposed to go live today, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to go live at 4 p.m. And the crazy thing is, Adam texted me.
They gonna have him out by like 2:30. If we can get him out by 2:30, he can still make it to the building.
Adam texts me every day, and I ain't heard from him today.
Last week complaining about how all my I spent last week complaining about how all my Crips were gone. Just like that, God got me. We're getting one back. We're getting one back. Still got 3 to pray for, but we're getting one back. God is good. Free all the Crips. I spent last week complaining about how all my Crips were gone. Just like that, God got me. We're getting one back. We're getting one back. Still got 3 to pray for, but we're getting one back. God is good. Free all the Crips. There's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. We're doing well on Facebook and Snapchat. We employ quite a few of the hottest content creators on the West Coast, and we pump out, we got over 25 million.
A week. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Adam. Let them know.
There's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. We're doing well on Facebook and Snapchat. We employ quite a few of the hottest content creators on the West Coast, and we pump out an insane amount of content on a weekly basis. How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue. And unfortunately, that did not happen. Experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue. And unfortunately, that did not happen. Our YouTube numbers, which had doubled or even tripled, gradually returned to normal. Our Snapchat and Facebook numbers, which had exploded during COVID, sometimes even hitting 6 figures a month, shrank by about 80% or more. Our Patreon, which was absolutely killing it for a year or two when we were doing uncensored, aka nude interviews with up-and-coming superstars like Kazumi and Sky Bree, fell off quite a bit with the launch of Plug Talk, and a which was absolutely killing it for a year or two when we were doing uncensored, aka nude interviews with up-and-coming superstars like Kazumi and Sky Bree, fell off quite a bit with the launch of Plug Talk and a decreased interest in seeing us interview stars. In addition to that, you might recall that the channel took quite a hit when approximately 8 of our hosts left the platform in March of 2023, although we've definitely largely recovered and managed to build up a very healthy roster of talent. In addition to that, you might recall that the channel took quite a hit when approximately 8 of our hosts left the platform in March of 2023. Although we've definitely largely recovered and managed to build up a very healthy roster of talent since then, that certainly took a toll on our business for a while as well. All that stuff hurt the business, but we were still solidly profitable. That is, until the last few months where we experienced 2 major L's that we never could have seen coming. First, we lost the No Jumper Instagram. After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account, we got taken down one day and we still have absolutely no idea why.
Now here's the thing. I wish I could have felt sorry for him, but he white. I wish I could have felt sorry for him, but he white. It's hard for me to hear them womp, womp, womp when you're white. You know, and there's nothing wrong with being white. I'm just saying. It's just, it hits different. You feel me? And so, you know, you saying you broke being white, and the fact that you're able to go out and get a $4 million studio, black businesses don't even get approved for that type of loans. It just, I don't know. It feels like you've got an asset on your hands, and you're trying to move these assets because you got a lot of lawsuits underway, okay? And, you know, it takes money to keep money, Okay, and so here's the thing. So I called up a little friend of mine that happens to work in, the PD's office, LAPD, and apparently Adam is not telling the whole story. Now, he is more than welcome to come on the platform and address it. I just kind of felt like I wasn't going to get the entire truth because it's got to do with a lot of that RICO stuff that's going on with Big U and Whack 100 and all those guys. And so apparently he went from doing I guess just regular underground rapper content to now it's content to a night street beef, and then they come and talk on the platform about street beef, and then they carry out the street beef, and then they use it to send shots at each other, sort of like what Vlad was doing for a while, and then he stopped. You know what I'm saying? Because he was getting, he was being called a fed and everything like that because they were asking to use his footage, even though he says he never gave them any footage. Okay, whatever. So that's what his platform evolved into, especially when he had linked with Whack 100. Okay, and Whack 100 claims that he's, I guess, some type of set pyro. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't really live that lifestyle. I've never dealt with people that live that lifestyle. But here's what I'm being told is that Adam gotta go, and the platform has gotta go, because the thing about it is, it's like, it's caused so many disruptions in the community with them using his platform to ignite beef. Don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't really live that lifestyle. I've never dealt with people that live that lifestyle. But here's what I'm being told is that Adam gotta go, and the platform has gotta go, because the thing about it is, it's like, it's caused so many disruptions in the community with them using his platform to ignite beef, and then they talk about the beef, and then they send shots. They're going to be queuing all of that content to use to build a case on these people that they just recently arrested, Big U and all those people.
Shalom, we got to give all honor and glory and praises to who? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the name of the Son. And we coming in the Holy Spirit. And double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, salutations unto the elect men feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, in sincerity and truth. Shalom to a hopeful elect, listening and learning, man. And if you got to use wisdom in the times that we're in, man. You got to be able to recognize who's your friends and who's your enemies. And you can't be moving like the people in this world, right? Most of our people, they doing things for money, right? They're doing things for money. They in Hollywood because of the money, right? They done became a lawyer working for this man's system for that money, right? They done became a doctor prescribing what? Pharmacia. Poison to our people for that money, right? They became a pastor, a preacher, under a 501c3 for that money, right? For what it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And they done erred from the faith, right? Most of our people, they erred from the faith, following, chasing that money, and they go on these different platforms, right, for money. You seen Vlad TV, how many ninjas died going on Vlad TV talking about gang violence and talking about different criminal activities, and they end up in prison. They end up dead. FBG Duck, FBG that the other dude, right? A bunch of rappers, right, who done died, man, dealing with these Edomites, right? Our enemies, right? Our people are trusting our enemies for what? For some financial gain, for notoriety, just to be seen, to be heard, while they're promoting what? Wickedness to our people. And the Lord ain't dealing with that spirit. Right, the Lord ain't dealing with that spirit. You seen what happened to everybody who was on that Adam 22, man. They Rico, right? Big U, Brick Baby. What's that other one? Loose Cannon. Right, all these different gang members. That's why he said free the Crips. Right, he wants you to free people who likes to kill other black people. Right, what do these gangbangers specialize in? Murdering other black people. Ain't gonna do a damn thing to the true enemy. Right. I'm going to go to the book of Proverbs. Let's go to 6, verse 16, right? It says, these 6 things of the Most High Yahweh hates. It says, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him, right? A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, right? You go on them platforms with these Vlad TV and Adam 22, you got the chicks. You got that proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a bunch of murderers and killers and gangbangers, drug dealers, right? Human traffickers, extortioners, right? Rapists, right? Straight killers and murderers with tatted tears on their face, right? And take tattoos of their sets on their bodies, right? That's another crime to the Lord. You putting a tattoo on your body, right? It says, "And heart that deviseth wicked imaginations." And what they pushing on that show, man? Gang banging. One man killing another man for a color, right? Over a letter, over a hat, over a jacket, over some shoes, over what neighborhood he live in. You live on the 1st Street, nigga. I'm on the 2nd, nigga. You gonna die, nigga. We on the 3rd Street, nigga. We on the 5th, nigga. Right? Niggas is fighting over numbers in streets, colors, right? Edomite names, sets, right? This I'm gonna read it again from the top. "These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7, an abomination unto him, proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood." These niggas start shooting up neighborhoods and everybody get hit, except who they was targeting. Little kids get hit, babies get hit. You just seen these different fucking killings that been happening, man. Motherfucking just shot up different cars, man. The babies is getting hit. The little children's is getting hit. The kids are getting hit, right? And then these niggas go rap and brag like it was cool, right? One thing you gotta realize, they don't give a fuck about our people, right? That's why the Lord said, "Come out from among them and be ye separate." One chick gonna ask me, "Oh man, you ain't gonna stand with the black people?" I said, "No, sister, I stand for the Lord. I stand by myself." And she said, "Ooh, I want to stand with you." "Yeah, I know you do, but you ain't gonna stand with me, goddammit. Because I ain't here to fight for a bunch of people who don't give a damn about who you, how about Shimmy outside. Fuck caring about us. If you don't care about the Lord, you damn sure don't give a damn about us." Right? It says, "In the heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift to running to do mischief." Them jakes brag about robbing a motherfucker. "Yeah, we robbed that motherfucker. We jacked that motherfucker. We took his car. We took his rims. Yeah, we shot that motherfucker. We took his chain off his neck. Yeah, we killed that motherfucker." Right? "Yeah, you got to check in. If you don't check in, nigga, yeah, you know what happens if you don't check in."
Now to checking in that's a mistake that everybody makes when it comes down to checking in. Is either you checking in to get set up and get robbed, or you checking in to get killed. If you got that. That's a mistake that everybody makes when it comes down to checking in. Is either you checking in to get set up and get robbed, or you checking in to get killed. Now, what are your thoughts on what happened to PNB?
I mean, it can happen to everybody. We in LA. Yeah. When I go to Chicago, I respect Chicago wholeheartedly. I check in. When I go to Atlanta, I check in. When I go places, I check in. And I don't think nobody is safe. I know dudes right now from LA who are actual gang members who have been robbed for their jewelry, who real killers. Like, who really real killers. Like, if he ever find out who did that, he gonna knock everybody down. You understand what I'm saying? You just caught slipping. And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And you try your best not to be slipping. And if you have the means not to, why do it? You know what I mean? And it's just about, sometimes it's about respecting, yourself and then trying to get home. So, I mean, I hear a lot of back and forth on that. But, I mean, I don't know that it's a perfect answer other than me, myself, I check in. And so, I mean, I hear a lot of back and forth on that. But, I mean, I don't know that it's a perfect answer other than me, myself, I check in. And it's
that's a mistake that everybody makes when it comes down to checking in. Is either you checking in to get set up and get robbed, or you checking in to get killed. If you got just the rules of the streets in LA, it's like people think Beverly Hills is so far away, but the hood is only like 10-15 minutes away. So just the rules of the streets in LA, it's like people think Beverly Hills is so far away, but the hood is only like 10-15 minutes away.
seen it happen to Pop Smoke. Then I seen PNB Rocky.
The crazy part about it is I was at Roscoe's when it happened. But he stood on his business, but then it ultimately cost him his life.
Alright, man. So
Right, this is the type of bullshit these jakes promote. Right, death, destruction. And really, it's the judgment of the Lord. This is the judgment of the Lord. These are wicked men from your Nipsey Hussles, from your PNB, whatever his name is. Right, your Pop Smoke. What do these jakes promote? Death, murder, gangbanging, destruction, and hate towards who? Our own people. But as soon as that white boy come through the camera, it's all love. They shake the white boy hand. They give him a hug. Right, they give him some good money, pay him. Right, they go, who they go, what jewelers, what black jewelers do they go to? Not too many. They ain't fucking. They go to them. They go to China, that Chinese jeweler. Right? They go to the Jewish jeweler. Right? They ain't thinking about putting no money in these black communities. Right? The only thing they gonna do in your black community is throw parties so you can spend money for them. Right? Come buy their albums. Right? And Esau Edom is the motherfucking promoter of this shit. Right? It says these 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speak lies. Right? These jakes, man, they done went in court and lied on other motherfuckers just so they can get out of prison. Right? They done committed the crimes and they done lied just so they don't do the time. Right? It says, and he that soweth discord among brethren, right? Adam 22 specialize in sowing discord among brethren. Vlad TV, sowing discord among brethren. Hollywood, sowing discord among brethren. Your radio, your entertainment, your media, this whole fucking society, right? That's why we're waiting for the Lord to come through and get rid of this bullshit, right? These agents of provocateur towards you Israelites. Right? They don't give a damn about you Israelites, right? They had a show called Adam 12, and my man gonna call himself Adam 22. And it was so long ago, he know you ain't gonna catch wind of what he doing. He's a fucking agent. An agent, right? And he's doing a good job. I'm not even mad at this man. I'm actually feel like he's doing a good goddamn job. Vlad TV doing a good goddamn job. Right? If you niggas is that dumb to fall for these traps, go ahead, man. Fucking fall, right? It says here in the book of Ecclesiasticus 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, right? You can't trust these Edomites. Oh yeah, they don't put some money in your pocket. They don't give you a platform to speak about what you're going through, right? What are you going through? Right? You're going through the curses. That's what the thing. Our people don't want to acknowledge their offenses. Right? You done sin against the Lord, so now you got to deal with a community of angry blacks and Hispanics that do drugs, that drink alcohol all day, that drive around and shoot at each other, that sell the women sell pussy, and the men kill each other. Right? I'm reading, it says, never trust thine enemy. And who set it up? Your enemy. Your enemy, right? Your enemy makes sure that your communities is fucked while this shit flourish. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right? It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Right? He's trying to act like, yeah, I brought money to these gangbangers. They were criminals, and I gave them a platform so they could work. Nobody else would hire them, so I hired you. Hired them to promote death. Right? You hired them to promote division and separation in the community. That's why it says the people said, man, it's time for him to go. Right? It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, and that's their plan, to overthrow you jakes. Right? Have y'all shoot up them communities, bring the price of them houses down. They gonna come through and buy all that shit up for cheap, rebuild all that shit up, and then guess what? You gonna be somewhere fucked. You gonna be in a tent somewhere. Right? You're going to be in a fucking forest somewhere trying to survive, right? It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at last remember my words, and be pricked and be pricked therewith. Continue reading. It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast? Right? You got these jakes, they got hit with that Rico, right? Big U, Brick Baby, loose cannon, loose lips, all these different gangbangers, they got hit with a Rico. And what, man, you went on that show and you spoke about your crimes. You spoke about your things that you're doing. You talked about your gangbanger. You done put in this work, talking about the dead homies. That's what they be killing me when they say the dead homies. That shit had me dying. Everything is about the dead homies, right? Them niggas worship death, right? It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? And I'm listening to one dude, man, he a gangbanger, but he said, you know what? This gang shit is a fucking cult. When he thought about it, he said, we worshiping death. Yeah, it is a cult. They worship fucking death, right? They want to kill a motherfucker. They want to rob a motherfucker. And then when they nigga die, they worship that mother. Look at the Hispanics. They got something called the Day of the Dead, goddamn. They go to the motherfucking cemetery and try to eat with a motherfucker who no longer exists. Right? That's some crazy ass shit. I'm reading, it says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? Right? So one that goes to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? Yeah, we don't give a damn about these gangbangers going to prison, man. You talking about free the Crips. Nigga, hey, free the Israelites out of this captivity. Yeah, free the elect. Yeah, free the 144,000 and the 1/3. That's what we talking about, man. We ain't trying to hear none of that. We looking for more death and destruction upon you wicked ass jakes. Right? You wicked ass jakes and lost your mind in this goddamn society trying to hold on to a wicked ass world. This is the book of 1 Peter 5:8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, right? And you jakes, you always talk about that, the devil, the man, the devil who you love so much. Yeah, you ain't never pulled up on, when was the last time they made a Edomite check in, right? I ain't seen one video about no Edomites checking in, but any nigga who come to California, you got to check in. A nigga in Chicago, you got to check in. Atlanta, you got to check in. Yeah. President Donald Trump go to all these motherfucking states. Ain't nobody told him to check in, right? Your weakest Edomite musician that went to all these states. Ain't nobody told him to check in. But you want to put oppression on your own people. That's why the Lord gonna kill more of you ninjas. Yeah, a lot more of you ninjas gonna die. It says 1 Peter 5:8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And who he looking to take out? You Israelites, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, the speckled bird. Because he know, guess what? He know that his time is short, and you know that you're his chief enemy, right? This is the book of Psalms. Let's go to 71, and we're gonna start at 10. It says, for mine enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, saying, the Most High have forsaken him. Persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. That's how they look. They feel like the Lord will cut us off. So let's take advantage of these ninjas, right? Let's promote death to them, and let's use them to promote death to each other. Yeah, and make money off of it. And we're going to lock them up for what they're promoting, for what we told them to, for what we're paying them to promote. We're going to lock them up. Man, this plan is amazing. This plan is amazing. Who came up with this plan? It can only be the devil. It can only be the chief enemy, Esau, Edom. For mine enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, saying, the Most High have forsaken him. Persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. But guess what? We got who our power. Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.